Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew responds to Carly's public criticism of him for having an affair with Willow by bombing her. Carly and Jack, now portrayed by Chris L. McKenna, are taking a private aircraft back to Port Charles. He says he's happy to return the favor because she saved his life from Valentine, and she thanks him for giving her a ride back. His assistant interrupts them as they are chit-chatting, wondering when he'll return to Port Charles. He anticipates a brief landing.
He needs to see something, she says.
When Jack and his associate meet in the woods, she shows him the location of Cyrus Renault's hiding place. The cabin is little. Every few days, Cyrus brings a bag there, but she hasn't gone inside to check what's inside. She was anticipating his arrival. Jack advises her to continue following Cyrus, and that they are welcome to come back here at any time. She believes that they ought to collect evidence, but he asserts that their role is not to perform the PCPD's duties. The goal of this experiment is to see what Joss does and whether she can follow Cyrus here. Joss hopes Anna has discovered evidence that Cyrus killed Dex when she summons her to her office. This is about Dex, not Cyrus, according to Anna. Only Joss was named as a family member on his paperwork, and she tells her about the two murders, Dex's and Sam's. She is telling her this for the same reason that she told Sam's family. Joss inquires as to whether she informed the hospital that Cyrus might be the murderer. Since she has no evidence against him, Anna claims she didn't. Joss fears that he might commit murder once more, but Anna clarifies that he is no longer able to see patients at General Hospital. What about the Turning Woods patients? Joss queries. What do you know about his access at Turning Woods? Questions Anna. Joss explains that she is volunteering there and may be able to learn about any patients he may have interacted with who passed away. According to Anna, she is not allowed to return since doing so would interfere with an ongoing inquiry. Joss exclaims that since she doesn't work for her, she is free to take any necessary action to ensure Dex receives justice. According to Anna, Cyrus is more likely to get away with it the more she gets involved. Cyrus is aware that he is being monitored, but Anna reiterates that they have no evidence against him. Anna implores her to stay out of the matter and let the PCPD handle it. Got it? Joss yells and leaves. Nothing would stop Drew from meeting Willow at the Coeur d'Alene gatehouse, where he buttons his shirt and jokes that his Navy SEAL experience helped him jump the fence to get in. He believes they should be able to spend time together, without having to go through all of these hassles. Willow concurs, saying that although Chase and Brooklyn have been kind to her, other people are avoiding her and showing up unexpectedly. He believes they are attempting to apprehend her. She doesn't want to cause trouble by stepping on anyone's toes. She wants to sort things out because this is where the kids live, they love Monica, and she can help Michael. Willow claims that, strangely, Sasha is the hardest person to cope with because it seems like she is always criticizing her. It's difficult to accept that they were pals. Later, Carly arrives with presents for the children. Willow was unaware that she had returned. According to Carly, she returned to see how things were going while Jason and Michael were in Germany. According to Carly, Michael wanted her to thank Willow and let the children know how much he loves them. Willow goes to make tea and invites her to remain. Unbelievably, Carly sits down and discovers Drew's tie. Willow discovers Carly is gone when she gets back. She requests the German clinic to send a message to Michael over the phone. According to her, his children adore him, long for him to return, and miss him. To pay the money he still owes Selena, Cody stops by her workplace. She makes him an offer before he departs. She claims to have met someone who wants to play high-stakes poker and to urge him to utilize house money to do so. She also promises to pay off his debt. Cody believes he should consider the offer.
Don't take too long, she says.
Cody leaves. Later, Drew shows up for a formal meeting at Selena's office. What's this about? She says. Drew clarifies that he is aware of her past association with Curtis and would like to learn more about their relationship, including how the Savoy was involved. Selena offers that in exchange for something, she may provide him knowledge. Cody abruptly interrupts, informs Selena that he is unable to accept her offer, and declares his official exit from the gambling industry. He claims that seeing Drew discussing business with Selena surprises him and validates his identity. Cody questions whether Drew lost a wager to Ms. Wu after Selena orders him to go. Cody questions Drew's claim that he is meeting with Ms. Wu because she is a constituent. He claims to Drew that he is just like his brother, who knocked Sasha up. Once more, Selena yells for Cody to go. Cody is dragged out by Selena's security. Lucky informs Liz at his house that he prevented Jason from killing Sidwell, though he is unsure if he regrets it now. He didn't want to bear the guilt of knowing that allowing Jason to kill Sidwell would have been motivated by retaliation. What would that have been retaliation for? Liz asks. Lucky informs her that in order to survive, he had to play poker with Sidwell. Although he is aware that it is absurd, he felt as though his father was mentoring him during the games. Liz doesn't believe it's insane. Lucky acknowledges that she also assisted him. Liz asks how she was able to assist him. He claims he was severely beaten when he attempted to flee once. He thought it was over for him as he lay on the floor, but then he saw her. He clarifies that she advised him to get up and fight, and not give up. Did she say anything else? Liz asks. Perhaps, he replies, laughing that he doesn't think she was dreaming about him back here. She believes that he knows her so well that he could predict her response to him. He claims that she has gotten through to him a lot, and that he thinks of her whenever he needs a reminder that there is good in the world. She informs him that, like everyone else, she is a flawed human being. She cannot be an angel to anyone. She only needs to be herself. Lucky doesn't need her to be an angel. They dance and look into each other's eyes while he plays an old song on his phone that he remembers them dancing to at Luke's years ago. Isaiah asks Jens if he's back to murder him as he approaches Jordan and Jens at the bar. Jens says he had a miscommunication with Isaiah in Africa and apologizes to Jordan. Isaiah claims that there was no miscommunication, that he held Lucky captive for weeks, and that his men attempted to kill him twice. Lucy steps in and advises their newest hero surgeon and deputy mayor to make an effort to get along with their new resident entrepreneur. Whatever cash Sidwell brings into Port Charles, Isaiah informs Lucy, is blood money. She was drinking with Jens when Jordan told Isaiah that he should take his problems with her somewhere else. Lucy returns to her meeting as Isaiah storms off. Jordan queries Jens about Isaiah's problem with him. Jens says he recruited Isaiah to be his personal doctor, but Isaiah left because he didn't like his conditions. Jens requests that you buy her supper this week as a way to make up for this. She advises him to schedule an appointment by calling her office. Jens anticipates it and leaves. Then Jordan texts Isaiah to find out his location. When Lulu returns to the deception table, Brooklyn is unaware that she is there. Tracy chastises Lulu for being late, claiming to be Brooklyn's assistant. The fact that Lucy is being a social butterfly at the bar rather than paying attention to the company further irritates her. They discuss Natalia and Sunny traveling to Los Angeles to have their goods displayed in boutiques there when Maxie soon joins them. Tracy gripes that they are footing the bill for their romantic retreat. If Tracy is going to be negative, Maxie says they can hold this meeting without her. After a sarcastic exchange with Tracy, Sasha and Felicia enter and take a table. They discuss her pregnancy. Felicia inquires as to whether the father's medical records are accessible. Sasha adds she is sure the father will assist her if the information is ever needed. After waltzing in, Drew meets with Anna to talk about the battle against organized crime and legislative business. He will gladly provide her with the money required to remove all mob members from the streets, beginning with Sunny and Jason. Congressman Quartermain is abruptly confronted by Carly, who tells him that he left his tie at Michael's house while having sex with his wife. Everyone in the eatery lets out a startled cry. Carly calls him a sleazy son of a bitch and flings the tie she bought him in his face. They shouldn't discuss this in public, according to Drew. She yells that Michael is fighting for his life and continues to sleep with his wife in his home, which is on property from which he has been prohibited. Carly shouts that she hopes Jason beats the living daylights out of him once again and that she wants everyone to see how pitiful he is. He's not half the man Jason is, she claims. Jason knocked up the family chef, Sasha Corbin, and Drew tells her the jokes. There are more gasps, and Felicia gives Sasha a startled look. Isaiah and Jordan meet at the Surf Lodge. Recalling that she had rescued him from his assassin, Isaiah cautions her that Sidwell poses a threat. Jens is the kind of person she shouldn't be playing with. Jordan explains that she can leverage the fact that Sidwell is obviously interested in her to gather information against him. Isaiah advises going to the police because she is no longer a police officer. Why not capitalize on Jordan's repeated indication that Jens is interested in her? According to Isaiah, she prefers the adrenaline of being undercover than pushing papers. Although she will require his assistance, she believes she is in the greatest position to defeat Jens. She needs him to keep away from her. They can't allow Sidwell to witness their relationship. That she believes they have a connection makes him happy. He offers to assist, but he insists on accompanying her incognito. The air crackled with tension as Carly Corinthos stormed into the Metro Court restaurant, her heels clicking sharply against the polished marble floor. Patrons turned their heads, sensing the storm about to break. Her eyes, blazing with fury, locked onto Drew Kane, who sat casually at a table, sipping his coffee as if he hadn't just turned her world upside down. Drew barely had time to react before Carly's voice, cold and sharp as ice, sliced through the air. "So, how long were you planning to keep it a secret?" His jaw tightened, but he remained seated, setting his coffee cup down with deliberate calm. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Oh, don't play dumb with me, Drew." Carly shot back, her voice rising. "You and Willow? Are you kidding me? How could you do this?" A hush fell over the restaurant as onlookers tried to eavesdrop, without being obvious. Drew sighed, finally rising from his chair, his eyes scanning the room before settling back on Carly. "Maybe this isn't the place for this conversation."
"No," she snapped.
"This is exactly the place. You think you can sneak around behind my back with Michael's wife, and I'm just supposed to pretend everything's fine? You betrayed me. You betrayed Michael." Drew's face darkened, and he took a step closer, lowering his voice but making sure she heard every word. "I don't owe you an explanation, Carly." Carly let out a hollow laugh. "Oh, you don't? That's rich coming from you. After everything we've been through, after all the times I stood by you, you throw it all away for a fling." Drew's hands clenched into fists at his sides, but his voice remained controlled. "It wasn't a fling." Carly's breath hitched. "Then what was it?" Drew hesitated for a split second, and that was all the confirmation Carly needed. "Oh my God," she whispered. "You have feelings for her?" Drew didn't deny it. Instead, he exhaled heavily and rubbed a hand over his face. "It wasn't supposed to happen. Neither of us planned it, but it did. And I won't apologize for my feelings." Carly shook her head in disbelief. "You won't apologize? You're unbelievable." Drew met her gaze, something unreadable flickering in his eyes. "You don't get to stand there and act like the victim, Carly." Her mouth fell open. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Drew said, his voice gaining an edge. "You want to call me out in public?
Fine.
But let's talk about secrets, Carly. Let's talk about how you kept the truth about Willow's parentage from her for months. How you let her think she was just another lost soul instead of Nina's daughter. How you controlled that narrative until it suited you." Carly's face went pale. "That's not the same, isn't it?"
Drew cut in.
"You always act like you're the moral authority, like you're above reproach. But you've lied, manipulated, and justified it all because in your mind, it's always for the greater good." Carly took a shaky breath, the weight of his words crashing down on her. "I did what I thought was right." Drew laughed bitterly. "And so did I." Silence stretched between them. Carly's fury still burned, but there was something else now, something raw and painful in Drew's eyes that made her hesitate. Finally, he spoke again, his voice quieter but no less firm. "You don't have to like what happened, Carly. But don't stand here and pretend you're the only one who's ever made a mistake." Carly swallowed hard. For the first time, she wasn't sure she had a response. The restaurant remained deathly quiet as Drew picked up his coat, threw a few bills on the table, and walked away, leaving Carly standing there, stunned, humiliated, and reeling from the bomb he had just dropped on her. Brennan's plan for the ugly showdown between Carly and Drew. According to the General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, February 4th, Jack Brennan discussed a plan, Cyrus Renault's hiding place was discovered and Carly Spencer and Drew Quartermain had an unpleasant confrontation. After meeting with Jordan Ashford, Isaiah Gannon confronted Jen Sidwell at the Metro Court and yelled at him about Sidwell's attempt to kill him. Isaiah eventually left after Jordan pretended that he was being impolite and obtrusive. She caught up with Isaiah again to thank him for falling for her ruse after Jordan won Sidwell over, and they promised to have dinner together shortly. Jordan was determined to approach Sidwell and dig for dirt, but Isaiah was still worried about her landing in danger. Jordan advised Isaiah that they would need to keep their distance for the time being, but Isaiah became flirtatious and implied that their relationship would also need to go undercover. Carly and Jack engaged in another flirtatious conversation on the plane ride home from Germany. After the plane touched down, Brennan finally received a call from Colette Gerard, and they met up. Colette discovered the house Cyrus had been using as a hiding place in a wooded region, but Brennan wasn't interested in carrying out the PCPD's duties for them. Brennan instead made a suggestion that they would watch Jocelyn Jack's actions after she found the same hiding place. Jocelyn received information from Anna Devane in her office regarding Dex Heller and Sam McCall's deliberate injection of digitalis. Jocelyn wanted Cyrus imprisoned and was concerned about the patients at Turning Woods who were still in danger, but Anna urged her to stop meddling and emphasized that they needed proof. Lucky Spencer wasn't sure if he regretted allowing Sidwell to live at Elizabeth Baldwin's house. After talking to Liz about the challenging situation he was in, Lucky finally acknowledged that she had shown up to him in a vision. Lucky only needed Liz to be herself, despite Elizabeth's insistence that she couldn't be his angel. Lucky played music on his phone and got her to dance with him after remembering hearing it while he was away and thinking of Elizabeth. When Drew and Willow Corinthos arrived downstairs at the Quartermain gatehouse, it was clear they had been hitting the sheets. Since nothing could stop him, Drew discussed climbing the wall to enter covertly and visit Willow. Following Drew's departure, Carly dropped by with presents for the kids and a note from Michael Corinthos, who wanted to thank Willow and express his love for the kids. Carly saw Drew's tie on the couch while Willow was in the kitchen and stole it, leaving Willow perplexed when she discovered the room was empty. Selena Wu took a $5,000 check in her office and promised to pay off Cody Bell's remaining balance if he accepted a proposal. Cody needed time to think it over, but Selena encouraged him to play a new poker game and made predictions about how profitable it may be. After Cody departed, Drew arrived and brought up Selena's relationship with Curtis Ashford via the Savoy. Since it was clear that Drew was looking for dirt, Selena essentially assured him that she could supply it, provided that their relationship benefited both parties. When Cody returned, he informed Selena that he had chosen not to accept her offer. As a result, Cody saw Drew and became enraged over him having a deal with Selena. Drew was shocked when Cody became so agitated that he revealed that Jason Morgan had also gotten Sasha Gilmore Corbin pregnant. On Tuesday's GH episode, Lucy Coe became momentarily involved in the Sidwell, Jordan, and Isaiah drama at the Metro Court. Sasha sat with Felicia Scorpio close by as Lucy focused on a deception meeting with Maxie Jones, Tracy Quartermain, Lulu Spencer, and Brooklyn Quartermain. Felicia questioned whether she would be able to get in touch with Sasha's baby's father for medical documents, but Sasha was confident she could get in touch with him in case of future problems. After finding Drew in the Metro Court, Carly confronted him about the ties she had seen at Willow's house. After being barred from the Quartermain house, Carly openly criticized Drew for having an affair with Willow after realizing it was one she had given him. As every customer was given a front row seat for Carly and Drew's intense confrontation, there were gasps across the restaurant. Everyone was left reeling once more, even Sasha herself, when Drew abruptly revealed that Carly's beloved Jason had knocked her up, adding to the mayhem. According to General Hospital previews, Sasha will keep being caught up in horrible pregnancy situations, so keep an eye out. Carly calls Drew out in public for sleeping with Willow, and he retaliates by dropping a bomb on her. The tension in Port Charles had been brewing for weeks, and it finally erupted in a way that no one expected. Carly Corinthos, never one to back down from a fight, found herself at the center of yet another scandal. This time, however, it was personal, and it cut deeper than anything she had experienced before. Drew Kane had always been someone she could count on, a friend, an ally, and at one point, even a potential love interest. But when Carly discovered that he had been sleeping with Willow Tate, her emotions boiled over. It wasn't just about the betrayal. It was about what it meant for everyone involved, especially Michael, who had no idea about the affair between his fiancée and his supposed uncle. The revelation came to Carly in the worst possible way. Overheard whispers at the Metro Court. A staff member had been gossiping about seeing Drew leave Willow's apartment late at night. At first, Carly had dismissed it as just another rumor, but as she dug deeper, the truth became undeniable. Carly stormed into the Metro Court restaurant, where Drew was having a meeting with Ned Quartermain. Without hesitation, she marched right up to his table, her voice loud enough to turn heads. "How could you?" Carly's voice cut through the chatter, causing silence to ripple across the room. Drew looked up, taken aback by her sudden intrusion. "Carly, what are you talking about?" "Don't play dumb with me," she hissed. "You and Willow. How long has this been going on?" Ned raised an eyebrow and slowly leaned back in his chair, clearly enjoying the drama unfolding before him. Drew sighed and set down his drink, his expression unreadable. "Carly, this isn't the place."
No, she snapped.
"This is exactly the place. You had no problem sneaking around behind Michael's back, so why should I have a problem exposing you in front of everyone?" Murmurs spread through the restaurant like wildfire. Drew clenched his jaw and stood up, his voice dangerously low. "Carly, I suggest you take a breath before you say something you regret."
She scoffed.
"Oh, I don't regret a damn thing. You, on the other hand, should be ashamed." Drew glanced around at the growing crowd of onlookers before pulling Carly aside, his grip firm but not forceful. "This isn't what you think." "Oh, really?" She crossed her arms. "So, you weren't sneaking around with Willow?" Drew exhaled sharply. "It's complicated. That's what people say when they don't want to admit they've done something wrong." Drew hesitated for a beat before his eyes darkened with something that looked an awful lot like resentment. "You know what, Carly? You're one to talk about sneaking around. How about we discuss your little secret?" Carly's stomach twisted, but she refused to show weakness. "What are you talking about?" Drew smirked, his voice carrying just enough malice to make her nervous. "Oh, you know exactly what I mean. The truth about Nina and Willow." The blood drained from Carly's face. "You wouldn't." "Oh, I would," Drew countered. "You've had no problem keeping secrets before. You hid the fact that Nina was Willow's mother for months. So don't stand there and act like you're the moral authority on honesty." Carly felt the weight of the room pressing in on her. She had spent so much time justifying her actions, convincing herself that she had kept the secret for Willow's sake. But deep down, she knew it had also been about protecting her own interests. And now, Drew had the power to expose her hypocrisy to the very people she had been trying to protect. A tense silence stretched between them before Carly finally found her voice. "I did what I had to do." "And so did I," Drew shot back. "We all make choices, Carly. Maybe you should take a hard look at your own before you start judging mine." Before Carly could respond, the doors to the Metro Court swung open and Michael walked in, completely oblivious to the firestorm he was about to step into. Meanwhile, across town, Jack, now played by Chris L. McKenna, was flying back to Port Charles with Carly. The private jet hummed softly as they soared through the clouds, a brief moment of calm before the chaos waiting for them on the ground. "Thanks for the lift," Carly said, crossing her arms as she stared out the window. Jack, leaning back in his seat, gave her a knowing smile. "Hey, you saved my life from Valentine. Least I could do." She turned to him, eyebrows raised. "Well, don't expect me to do it again." Jack chuckled. "Noted." Their conversation was interrupted when Jack's assistant called. He picked up and Carly couldn't help but notice the way his expression shifted. "What is it?" he asked. "You're going to want to see this when you land," the assistant said cryptically. Jack exchanged a glance with Carly before hanging up. "Something tells me things are about to get interesting." In the woods outside Port Charles, Jack met with his associate, who led him through the dense trees to a small, secluded cabin. "That's where Cyrus Renault's been hiding out," she whispered, pointing at the structure. Jack frowned, scanning the area. You sure? She nodded. He comes here every few days. Always carrying a bag. I haven't been able to get inside, but I figured you'd want to see it for yourself. Jack considered this for a moment before shaking his head. We're not here to do the PCPD's job for them. Our job is to see if Joss can trail him here. His associate hesitated. What if she does? What if she finds something we don't want her to? Jack exhaled slowly. Then we'll deal with it when the time comes. Back in Port Charles, the storm was just beginning to brew. Carly's confrontation with Drew had set off a chain reaction, and as secrets unraveled, the lives of everyone involved were about to change forever. Carly and Drew's ugly showdown, Brennan's plan. The latest episode of General Hospital was nothing short of explosive, as Carly Spencer and Drew Quartermain engaged in a fiery confrontation while major developments unfolded regarding Cyrus Renaud and Jack Brennan's schemes. The drama intensified as secrets were exposed, alliances shifted, and the past came back to haunt several key players. Carly and Drew's heated showdown. At the Metro Court, Carly confronted Drew with undeniable evidence of his involvement with Willow Corinthos. Having found Drew's tie at Willow's place, Carly wasted no time in calling him out in front of the entire restaurant. The tension between them reached a boiling point as Carly accused Drew of recklessly disregarding the boundaries set by the Quartermain family. Drew, however, refused to be shamed into silence. He lashed back, claiming that Carly had no right to judge him when her own past was riddled with questionable decisions. The argument escalated when Drew blurted out a shocking revelation. Jason Morgan had fathered Sasha Gilmore Corbin's baby. This unexpected bombshell left Sasha reeling, causing a ripple effect of shock and disbelief throughout the Metro Court. Jordan's risky strategy. Meanwhile, Jordan Ashford continued her covert operation against Isaiah Gannon and Jen Sidwell. At the Metro Court, Isaiah confronted Sidwell over his meeting with Jordan, accusing him of trying to eliminate him. Jordan played along, pretending to be annoyed by Isaiah's interference, before later meeting up with him to thank him for maintaining the ruse. Isaiah remained concerned about Jordan putting herself in danger. However, Jordan was determined to gain Sidwell's trust and extract valuable information. The two agreed to keep their distance for now, but Isaiah hinted that their connection might have to go undercover as well. Brennan and Collett's hidden agenda. On the flight back from Germany, Carly and Jack Brennan engaged in a flirtatious exchange, hinting at a growing connection between them. Once the plane landed, Brennan wasted no time in meeting up with Colette Gerard. Colette had managed to locate the hideout Cyrus Renaud had been using, but Brennan made it clear that he had no intention of doing the PCPD's job for them. Instead, he proposed a more cunning plan: use Jocelyn Jacks to discover the hideout and observe her actions. His manipulation of Jocelyn hinted at a more sinister agenda in play. Jocelyn's determination and Anna's warning. At Anna Devane's office, she and Sam McCall updated Jocelyn on the sinister attack against Dex Heller, who had been intentionally injected with Digitalis. Jocelyn, furious and desperate to take action, insisted that Cyrus needed to be locked up immediately. However, Anna cautioned her against reckless interference. They needed solid evidence to take down Cyrus, and Jocelyn's involvement could put her in further danger. Despite the warning, Jocelyn remained resolute in her desire for justice. Lucky and Elizabeth's emotional moment. At Elizabeth Baldwin's home, Lucky Spencer confided in her about his internal struggles. He admitted that he wasn't sure whether sparing Sidwell's life had been the right decision. Lucky reminisced about a vision he had of Elizabeth while he was away, and as emotions ran high, he played a familiar song on his phone. The moment took a sentimental turn as Elizabeth and Lucky shared a dance, reconnecting over their past and the emotions still lingering between them. Drew and Selena Wu's dealings. Drew, now entangled in multiple conflicts, paid a visit to Selena Wu's office. He brought up her connection to Curtis Ashford and the Savoy, clearly fishing for leverage. Selena, always one step ahead, suggested that she could provide the information Drew sought if the arrangement was mutually beneficial. Meanwhile, Cody Bell also had dealings with Selena. She offered him a way to clear his remaining debt in exchange for participating in a high-stakes poker game. Cody initially hesitated but ultimately declined the offer. Tensions rose further when Cody crossed paths with Drew and accused him of making shady deals with Selena. The confrontation took an unexpected turn when Cody blurted out that Jason had fathered Sasha's baby. The revelation left Drew visibly stunned and set off another chain of reactions. The deception team drama. Elsewhere at the Metro Court, Lucy Coe briefly found herself caught up in the Sidwell, Jordan, and Isaiah drama. However, she quickly turned her focus back to a deception meeting with Maxie Jones, Tracy Quartermaine, Lulu Spencer, and Brooklyn Quartermaine. Sasha sat nearby with Felicia Scorpio, discussing concerns about her unborn child. Felicia suggested that Sasha try to obtain medical records from the baby's father, but Sasha remained adamant that she would reach out only if necessary. However, with the revelation of Jason's paternity now public knowledge, Sasha's plans were bound to change. Fallout from the showdown. As the fallout from Carly and Drew's public fight settled in, the ramifications became clear. Carly had exposed Drew's forbidden relationship with Willow, shaking up the Quartermaine family dynamics yet again. Meanwhile, Drew's impulsive decision to reveal Jason's involvement with Sasha ensured that even more lives would be affected. General Hospital continues to deliver gripping drama, and with tensions escalating between multiple key players, the stakes have never been higher. Stay tuned as Carly, Drew, and the rest of Port Charles navigate the chaos that follows.